What's going on, everybody? This is episode 150 of Full Court Blitz podcast. On your boy Trez with me today, J Ferg.
What's
going on, bro, man? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty decent. How about yourself?
I'm alright. Good. Chilling. Adult shit.
Life at the yard.
Huh?
Life at the yard.
Yeah. Life at the yard. I had a pretty good weekend, when the boys go out this Sunday.
Must be nice. Damn, I shouldn't have asked.
Nah, not like that. Because I don't like heights.
So you don't do roller coasters?
I don't do heights.
You don't do planes either?
I never flew on a plane.
See, you just like me. I ain't done that before either.
So my girl, she bought like these tickets for whatever. And she she went the weekend before that for the first time because she ain't from Virginia, she's from somewhere else.
Right.
She went, she had fun, whatever, and she was like, they had this like little 4th of July sale thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like you can just get tickets and stuff. And she was like, will you if I get it, will you go? I was like, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see.
She ended up getting it, and then and I guess like she got it for free for the water country, and it was added included too.
Okay.
So it was pretty dope. She ended up getting some packages and stuff inside of there with it too, with guests and shit like that in the third. We went. We was on the way there. It started raining. I was like, shit, look at God.
That fool was praying.
I was like, look at God, boy.
He was praying on that.
But we got there. We stayed in the parking lot for like 30 minutes, just to see if it'll clear up. It's the first time I've been in 10 years. So last time I went was I was probably 14, 15 probably. It was for Hollow Screen. And I went and I did 2 rides, and then I was telling her I've been before, and I was I couldn't remember the rides, but I was I know for sure one was the Apollo's Chariot. I know for sure because that was the first one I did. We walked. That walk was crazy.
I know.
Man, I said, man, I'm doing more walking than I do at work.
Facts.
But yeah, man, just kind of just sum it up though. We just the first one we rode. Apollo's Chariot.
Yep. And
I was like, shit. And she was like, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes, boy. Mm-hmm. Guess what your boy did?
Closed them.
I closed them damn eyes. Man. And that was alright.
It wasn't bad. I think I've been on that one. That's the
purple jump. The purple jump.
I think I've been on that one.
Yeah, and then there was a one beside it. I forgot what it was called. But it was it's a whole lot of loops. I was like, yeah, no, I do not want to be upside down. No.
I might pass out.
Yeah. So then we went to, I think this is the France theme. I forgot this one was called, but the snow one. I remember the snow one. I remember the snow one because I did that one the last time I was there 10 years ago, and that was the last time I rode. And I was like, yeah, I took a pass on that. But then for real, I did what, 5? I did 5 rides, bro. I did a Griffin.
Fucking better than me.
I did the Griffin, bro.
I tell you that.
Man, cause that bridge, it's the bridge, right? Mm-hmm. And you watch people do the grip. I looked at that shit, and I felt I was like, the Griffin had that drop. Yeah. Man, I did not know it stopped. And then it goes, and then stop. And then you wait for 10 seconds and then boom! I was like, oh hell no.
Yup.
I looked at that. She's like, you wanna go? I said, hell no. Bro, I don't know what it was. We got closer and closer. Mm-hmm. We was in line for the Griffin. Yeah. I said, man, should I do it? I said, man, ain't no bitch though. Should I do it? Nah. And I said, got a little closer. I was like, man. I said, I'm a game time decision. I'm a game time decision.
No bullshit. We sitting there thinking about this damn decision before we do it.
Man, my girl looked at me. She was like, give me the bags and stuff. She said, here. I was like, fuck it. I took my hat off. I took my phone and everything. I put it in the bag. And she said, what you doing? So I'm gonna do it. She's like, oh shit. Man, hey, Jay. Man.
Regret it.
Oh, boy, she helped me out. She was narrating for me. Like,
you got your eyes closed.
Yeah. Boy, she was like, you know, we're going to the top. I was like, yep. We're going to the top. I was like, yep. She said, we're going to the top. I was like, yeah, I feel it. And then like she was at the top. She was like, wait, we're here. She's here. She's like, boom. I was like,
soul of your body.
What? Hey, I'm gonna show you the pictures later.
Oh man, you got pictures.
Yeah, I got the what? This is Miss CMC. That was the first one. All of them like just straight. You can't even see it.
It's fucking crazy.
And then look at this shit.
It's all teeth.
Look at that shit. It's straight.
That boy clenching like a motherfucker up there.
Oh boy.
Clenching like a mug.
Did she give me 2? Oh, it must be 2 of them.
Thank God we ain't buy my pictures that day. We went, boy. I'd have been done for.
And then look at this shit.
You look like you having fun to me.
Oh, I had because I knew that's because I knew the fucking
camera.
The camera, yeah.
So you try to play it off?
Yeah, it is.
He tried to play it cool. That boy shaking in his boots under that motherfucking picture. See me?
Yeah, this is the worst one.
Oh damn! See me and those, bro. If I would have bought them pictures, bro, I would have been in that face seized up. Cause bro, when I got off the ride, my neck, arms, legs, abs, chest, I was clenching so hard, my whole body locked up before I got off. It was that serious.
Yeah, but I told her, I was like, yo, she want to go back? I'm down. I mean, I got out of the way. But it was some stuff that we couldn't get on. There was a lot because the bag situation, because like you know, so it's like, all right, whatever. But but yeah, I was like, yeah, man, we go back, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, brought her to Carolina Saturday for the first time, you know.
She fuck with it,
and she was all right, you know. Took her downtown to Hopper John's.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I like my Hopper John's.
Yeah.
Hopper John's dope. Yeah. Yep. And then
you know what's crazy?
What?
Never had them before.
Never been there?
Never.
Hey, bro. Definitely go. Hopper John's. Hey, anybody, the listeners, you want to come to Carolina, come down here, Elizabeth City, go downtown, Hopper John. Shout out to Hopper John's. Hopefully we get sponsored by it one day.
It's a go.
Yeah, it's right beside Ghost Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's going to the water. Like you got Ghost Harbor and then it's like right there beside it. Yeah, you know that Ghost Harbor, the alley, and then yep, pretty dope.
Got you.
Yeah, next weekend we'll hit the beach, Outer Banks.
I ain't been there so long. It's been over 2 years, I think.
So you went a time after we went. Actually, yeah.
This was for work though.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is crazy. I ain't go no more. Matter of fact, after we went, I went with my mom one day.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I put her on the slice. She likes. I need to take them back.
Yeah, I ain't been sliced in a while.
I gotta go back, man.
Yeah, I might hit that up one. I might hit that up next weekend. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's some exotic pizza right there.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Yeah, that shit was dope. All right, started this did with the NFC East last week. We did AFC West. Now we're doing the NFC North. NFC North, man. You can say that it's probably one of those. It's a tough division. It's one of the tough divisions. Obviously, last year we had 3 teams and made it to the playoffs. The Lions, the Vikings, and Green Bay. The first time in history, NFL history, that a 14-win team was in a wild card game. Obviously, it came down to the last game of the season between the Lions and Vikings, where the winner gets first seed, and obviously the other team that loses gets the wild card. Probably one of one of the most deep, divisions that we had in a very long time, or even ever.
Facts.
You know, it was a lot. It's a lot of expectations going on. You know, like just going to last season where like were the Lions ready for it to be in the Super Bowl?
Right.
You know, the Vikings ended up drafting JJ McCarthy, but obviously, you know, he ended up missing the season with a torn meniscus, and they ended up signing Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold, you know, what was the expectations for Sam Darnold? Green Bay, it was going to be Jordan Love's second year. Seeing how he was going to prove, especially with that that depth in the receiver group, and then the Bears with Caleb Williams, and they drafted him first overall, and there was a lot of hype going over him, and you know people said that he was in the best situation, and people even having the Bears going to the playoffs, winning the division, possibly make it to the Super Bowl. It's a lot of storylines going there, you know, and it was definitely this division storyline was definitely up there for sure in history. So we're gonna start with the Lions. We're gonna start it off. You know, just this division, man. I can truly say before you go is that this division is gonna probably be. It might be up there again for sure. I just looking at the schedules and looking at everything the movement is going on, bro. This division is up in the air.
Facts.
I mean, I think it really truly is up in the air, and also we're going to break it down and go from there. But all right, let's start with this division and start with the NFC North champions, back-to-back Lions.
Okay. So, Detroit. All season, I can't say. My guys, pretty dominant. I'm not gonna say pretty dominant. I'm gonna say really dominant. They were. I'm gonna say offensively, top. I'm gonna say minimum top five. Passing game for sure. They went absolutely crazy. Jared Goff. He went 390 out of 539 passing attempts. And he did that at a 72.4% clip, which is second in the league. He had 4,629 yards, which is second in the league. At 37 touchdowns, fourth in the league. So it's safe to say they were doing a lot of passing, to say the least. He also had a game where he almost threw for 500 yards in one game. And in that game, that was in the loss against Buffalo. And 48-42 loss. He threw for 5 touchdowns. No picks. His passer rating was 118.9 with a QBR of 76.3. So, to say the least, this offense was very, very dynamic, I would say. They have a very good receiving core also. Because at the helm, you have Amon St. Ra, you have Jameson Williams, you have Laporta, you have Jahmyr Gibbs,
Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery, which is, you know, Knuckles, Sonic and Knuckles back there also. My guys really, I think they really put their hammer down in the regular season. What really slowed them down at the end was the injuries, in which we saw throughout the seasons. I said seasons. Season was starting to add up. They had a lot of IRs. So I'm looking at their injury report. I'm seeing at least 15 guys out. And that's between offense and defense. I would say a good amount of them is on defense. That's including their best corner in Carlton Davis, which affected them in the playoffs, I would say. As we've seen how they went out versus Washington in that 45-31 loss, they just kept taking hits. Defensively, they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop that pass game, which was also another problem for them, I would say, would be stopping the pass for their defense. In that game, JD, I'm going to say JD 5, my boy had 299 yards, 22 out of 31 for a 9.6 average, 2 tubs. That game right there, I would say that one was more so like I wouldn't want to say a butt whooping, but we kind of knew the game was going to be over before it had ended. It kind of spread it that way because of how thin Detroit was lined up. You know what I'm saying? I think they would have went way farther in this season or postseason per se if they would have had a more healthy squad. So I think this upcoming season, what would be good for them, in which you can't always help injuries, would be try to best preserve as best as possible your guys, whether it be anything, any way. Maybe it might be a different way you do practice, a different way you do nutrition, or something of the sort. Because to go 15-2 in the regular season, that was very, very dynamic. You went 7-2 at home, going 8-0 away, which was great. Which it showed in the playoff game. You had a home game, you couldn't hold it down. I think they definitely have a good place to start off for this upcoming season, I would say. So in the offseason, they let Zadarius Smith walk into free agency. Mind you, this was his second team because he came from Cleveland. He started off with 12. Well, not started off. He ended with 12 tackles, 4 sacks, and 3 tackles for loss for just the Lions. They let Carlton Davis go to the Patriots. They let Kevin Zeitler, which was a right guard, go to the Titans. You had Brian Branch. He's still on the squad, though, but he had a very good season for them. He was the team leader in pass deflections with 16, which was tied for 5th in the league. You had tackles for loss, which was 8. He had 109 tackles to go with 4 picks. He's a good place to start with for this upcoming season. And they picked up DJ Reed, a corner from the Jets. They picked up Avonte Maddox, a corner from Philly. They picked up Isaac Tesla from the draft. He's a wide receiver. Tate Redledge, a center from the draft. Tyleek Williams, which is a tackle from the draft. With their quick playoff exit again being mostly because of the injuries and them being banged up. I think that's really the only thing I could really pull from their negative effects of the season was just a whole bunch of injuries with Aiden going down also. That played a big role. And for the upcoming season, I will say, do their prediction. I say they go 5-2 before the bye with a loss in week 3 to Baltimore and a loss in week 6 against the Chiefs, which is both away games. And after the bye week, I would say they go 8-2 with only losses to Eagles in week 11 and the Bears in week 18, because that's probably not going to matter by then. So, yeah, overall, I say they go 13-4.
All right. With the Lions going to last season, it was basically everybody's favorite. It was America's favorite team. Obviously they just coming off the season the year before and making it to the NFC Championship game against the 49ers, and going to last season. They were I don't know what the odds were, but they were definitely like top 5 of like making winning the Super Bowl and things, whatever. And obviously going to the in the season, we started to see them progress, grow and dominant. I mean, starting off week 1 against the Rams. They go overtime, they win that game, and then the following after that, they lose a game against Tampa Bay, and after that, they just go on a win streak. And then you start to see how this offense is, and then once things were starting to click, your best defensive player, Aiden Hutchinson, is down. He's out for the season with a broken leg, and then he was looking great, as in like he was was going to run away of winning this defensive player of the year. And then in 5 games, he had 19 total tackles, 7.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 7 tackles for loss. And you looking at that. I mean, that man was. Shout out to my my Wolverine, but that he was on the way to win. That award. I mean, this man was probably on pace to get probably 20 sacks. And it's just very dominant. And then after that, just one by one, people on the defensive side were getting hit with injuries. But then on the offense was doing their thing. He had Jared Goff, had career high numbers in touchdowns in 37, career high in yards in 4,629, and his pass rating was 100 and was at 111.8. You had Amon St. Brown, his catch rate was 81.6 according to PFF, and then you had Jameer Gibbs with 20 total touchdowns, 16 on the ground, 4 receiving. What 1,412 yards. Then you had David Montgomery, who only played 14 games last season, but was still very addition to what was going on to the running attack. 12 rushing touchdowns with 775 yards on the ground. Then on the defensive side, you had Kirby Joseph, who led the league in interceptions with 9, and his overall grade from PFL was a 91.0. And then you're looking at this like, all right, they can get through it. They finished the season strong after they finished the season strong after the loss against Buffalo. And then now it's just like, all right, well, Detroit's here. Detroit is here. And then they get busted by the Redskins. No, not the Redskins, the Commanders. And honestly, true, I can see more of they beat themselves than kind of Washington beat them, because there was a lot of errors, turnovers. Ben Johnson was being too crafty. I'm not discrediting what Washington did. They obviously do what you got to do. When the other team turned the ball over, they capitalize and they score points, and that's what you're supposed to do. Obviously upset. Nobody was expecting that to happen and the way it happened. But now going to the offseason, you don't have Ben Johnson. He goes to Chicago Bears as the head coach. It's just offensive coordinator, and then you lose your defensive coordinator as well, and Aaron Glenn. Two big losses starting off the offseason already. And then when free agency starts, you lose Carlton Davis, like you said, goes to the Patriots. You lose Zenter, and then a month before training camp, you lose your star center and Ragnarov. And now it's just like, damn, like what the fuck can happen? And now it's just a lot of questions and things. Is just like, is Detroit like even in the conversation now? Like, are they still contenders? You really lose 2 big pieces, and both of them are gone to get head coaching jobs. And now it's like, all right, what's going to happen? What's Dan Campbell's going to do? Like, how can they do this? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's like, how can they reload? And can they honestly get back to where they were? And I must sit here and say, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. It's hard to say, because now it's just, all right, well, you lose 2 good offensive coordinators. Two good coordinators. You lose you lose one of your guards. You lose your best center, and your center was basically like a coach on the field. And now it's basically everything's on Jared Goff. And Jared Goff is a very good quarterback. I'm not gonna discredit that. But when it comes to the big moments, it's just he he crumbles, and then he didn't do too well when pressure was on him. And it's like, can you really rely on Jared Goff now moving forward? Because now you don't have a creative mega mind in Ben Johnson. You went and go get John Morton as your OC. And it's just like, now it's like, all right, what would the offense look like? And then you look at the offense, obviously, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, you got David Montgomery. So you know that I think the running attack should still be good, right? But I think for the way for the run game to be good, the offensive line has to do their part. You still got Taylor Decker as your left tackle. You still got Penei Sewell. You went and go get you went and drafted Rutledge, and then now you went and got Graham Grasloff. So it's like, all right, how is this offense going to hold up? And you got Amon St. Brown, you got Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. It just became one of the best tight ends last year.
Facts.
And it's like, okay, is that enough? Is Jared Goff, is Jahmyr Gibbs, is David Montgomery, Amon St. Brown, Jameson Williams, you got a really good third receiver in Tim Patrick, Sam Laporta. Is it still good offensively? I think yes. I think they won't be top 3, top 5, but I think they still be a top 10 offense. I don't think it'll be as explosive. Obviously, they won't be as creative. But I do think that this offense is still going to be good, top 10. At least it has to be. Then you look on the defensive side, you get Aiden Hutchinson coming back, but he won't. It's probably going to take him a while to get back to where he was, especially off of a broken leg. So you don't want to rush him too much. And then if he starts off slow, it's all right. He got to get back in shape and everything. You got DJ Reed as your defensive tackle. You have Davenport. You have Jack. You have one of the best. A young linebacker in Jack Campbell. Then you go into your secondary. You go get DJ Reed because now you lost Carlton Davis. You got Kirby Joseph. Well, like I just mentioned, I said that as a free safety, he led the league in interceptions. You got Brian Branch. Now the rookie you got last year, Terry Arnold, who struggled, can he be better than he was last year? And if you get this defense playing and they stay healthy, I think this Lions team shouldn't be. It should be back where they were last year. I'm not gonna sit here and say they're gonna be. I'm gonna say it right now. They're not gonna go 15-2 next year. They're not. And I do think they're gonna lose some. They're gonna lose some quality games. I'm going to be real, because like I said, you lose two good coordinators, and that's a big thing. Week 1 they go to Green Bay. Week 2 they got Chicago. Week 3 at Ravens. Week 4 they got Cleveland. Week 5 at Cincinnati. Week 6 at Kansas City. Week 7. Tampa Bay. Week 8 is a bye. Week 9 they got the Vikings. Week 10 at Washington. Week 11 at Philly. Week 12 the Giants. Week 13 Green Bay. Week 14 the Cowboys. Week 15 at Rams. Week 16 got Pittsburgh. And then week 17, 18 at Vikings and at Chicago. Man, bro, you look at this, man. They play 9 playoff teams. 9 playoff teams. Bro, 7 of those games are on the road. 7 of those 9 playoff teams are on the road. Week 1 at Green Bay. Week 3 at Ravens. Week 5 at sorry, they're not playoff teams. Week 6 at Kansas City. Let me make sure I got it right. 1, 2, 8. Yeah, then but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My fault. 6 of those games are on the road. My apologies. Week 6, like I said, at Kansas City. And then week 10, back-to-back. At Washington, at Philly. And then week 15, at the Rams. And then obviously the Vikings, we know about the Vikings. I mean, they're the division. And then, week 17, at Vikings. Bro, I mean, six games on the road against playoff teams. And then, bro, they getting hit. Like, you don't catch a break. Week 5, week 6, at Cincinnati, at Kansas City. Week 10 and 11, at Washington, at Philly. Bro, that's a juggernaut. And do I think that they're gonna be dominant? Oh no. Bro, I can sit here and say I can see them going maybe 10-7.
10-7.
10-7, 11-6. They are not winning no more than 12 games this year. They're not. And then you looking at how the NFC is. I believe they might win the playoffs. I mean, they might win the playoffs. They may make the playoffs, but it's not going to be in the way that we thought it was like it was last year. And like I said, man, it's just you have to put in a lot of these factors in of the people they lost, and then you looking at the schedule. This is a fucking brutal schedule. You have to look at and put into this schedule is fucking brutal. Yeah. And if they go out and they win most of those games beat those teams, I mean, like I said, it's not playoff teams. If they win 7 of them, okay, cool. Then you got Chicago. Then they may sweep Chicago. That's 9 wins right there. You got Cleveland. That's 10. Then you get Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is not an easy game. Tampa Bay beat you last year. They gave you one of your L's last year. Losable game. Then you got the Giants. You should blow the fucking Giants out. Then you got Dallas. You should beat Dallas. Then you got Pittsburgh. Going to be a good game. Not going to say I'm not going to down shame Pittsburgh. It might be a good game. But, I think that with those 9 playoff teams right there, they have to win at least 7. They have to win at least 7, and everything else from here on out is winnable games. In my opinion, they have to win 7 of those. They have to beat 7 of those 9 playoff teams. If they don't win 7, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for them. And I think if they win 7, also it shows that they're still an elite team. They're still Super Bowl contender teams. That's still a Super Bowl contender team. And like I said, they win most of those games, and then I think everything it will come. It's going to come. It's going to come. As long as everybody stay healthy, long as Jared Goff is playing at a high level, and the offense is playing, and make sure the defense is holding it down, and standing tall. I mean, I just think that if those things go right, I think we're talking about them making probably another playoff run, a deep playoff run, for sure. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's just losing your 2 coordinators, that's huge. That's really huge, really fucking huge. And and it's that, and then can the defense play better than they were last year, and can they stay fucking healthy on the defensive side as well? Anything else before we go to, I guess,
Green Bay? I mean, Minnesota.
Before we go to Minnesota.
Dude. Only thing I could see really that would save them is just the pure talent of the squad. That's really what it comes down to. Everybody's like just raw talent. I think you got Sonic and Knuckles, those 2 motherfuckers right there. That's just power and speed mix, like the perfect mix of power and speed on both guys, for real. They both have their own level of power and speed. I think that's going to help them out if the pass game can't get going as efficient as it was last season. That would be what saves them. Defensively, I think they're going to be straight.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
For sure. But going on to the next squad, the Minnesota Vikings. With Minnesota, I think it's pretty easy to say they exceeded expectations by far. At least in the regular season, let's say that. Regular season wise, they exceeded expectations by far, going 14-3. They were 4th in the league in points per game, with 25.4. And Sam Darnold was 5th in the league in passing yards, 4,319. He was 5th in the league also in passing touchdowns with 35 and 12 picks. Leading on to his weapons, this is where it gets kind of choppy. And I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. You got Justin Jefferson. He played pretty much the whole season, 103 receptions, which was 6th in the league, 1,533 yards, which was 2nd, 10 touchdowns, 6th. He had a 90.2 yard per game average. Then you go to Jordan Addison, 63 receptions, 875 yards, 9 touchdowns, 58.3 yards per game. Then you go to TJ Hawkinson, 41 receptions, 455 yards. He didn't score last season, but he had a 45.5 yards per game, and he only played 10 games because he came back from a torn ACL and MCL. He was back week 9, so he did all of that after week 9. So I'm gonna go ahead to the rushing. So I'm gonna throw Aaron Jones. My boy was 9th in attempts with 255, 9th in yards with 1,138, but he only had 5 touchdowns. He had a 66.9 yards per game average. So why this kind of gets choppy, I would say now, honestly, is more so because Jordan Addison's situation that he got going on. We don't know how that's going. They said he has a court date coming up. I want to say they said this Thursday, which is for us tomorrow. We're going to see how that goes. He could potentially miss up to 3 games, and I think those 3 games will play a big part in their start of the season, which of course leads throughout the rest of the season because, of course, they're starting out with a new quarterback. You lose your guy that took you 14-3. Now you're going to the guy that you kind of originally started to go with from the beginning, but he had got injured for the whole season, so you're kind of back to square one. I think if he's out, you're kind of in a dilly, bro. You got weapons, mind you. Besides him, you got Jalen Naylor, you got Tim Jones from Jacksonville. He's kind of decent. You got Rondale Moore from Atlanta, and you drafted Ty Felton in the 3rd round. I think that right there, missing Jordan Addison as the 2, I think that's going to hit them pretty hard. They will have to depend on. I would say they'll have to depend on the tight ends a little bit more because you already throwing the ball at Justin Jefferson as much as he can get it. You really can't over spam him any more than what you're doing. You're going to have to depend on TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver. Besides him, Aaron Jones was going to do his thing. Then you just added Jordan Mason from San Fran. So that was a big pickup offensively. And even if you feel like spicing it up, you still got Ty Chandler. So you got a good 3 running back core there. I just have a problem with, I ain't gonna say a problem. I just have uncertainty with JJ and how he's gonna fit. Of course, this offense has been known to kind of just get guys in there and they just produce off the rip. But it's still a bit of uncertainty there. I think they take a bit of a drop. By a bit, I mean a good drop. Especially because of those first 3 games of uncertainty with Jordan Addison. Defensively, I think they are good. I think they're, if not just as good as last season, then better than last season. They pick up Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, Isaiah Rodgers, Jeff Okudah. You get Tavara Thomas, Eric Wilson. I think those are big pickups because, of course, you got Jonathan Allen and Hargrave. Those are big name guys for their position. You get Isaiah Rodgers. He's a good piece. He's kind of a good piece. He's gonna play your left side, and then you get Jeff Okuda's gonna more than likely play your right, and you already got Byron Murphy. That dude right there, bro. He's a problem. And then you still got Josh Metellus, Harrison Smith filling out the safeties, Andrew Van Ginkel. That guy right there, bro. Last season he ended up with 79 tackles, 11.5 sacks, 18 tackles for loss, 6 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, and 2 defensive touchdowns. So I would say those guys are more than good. Of course, you can't forget Blake Cashman. That guy right there, bro. Blake, he's the type of guy that I think anybody would love to have on their squad. He just runs and tackles. That's simple as I can put it right there. 112 combined tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, 8 pass deflections. Yeah, they were pretty good in stopping the points also for their opponents. They allowed 19.5 per game, which was 5th in the league. They forced overall 33 turnovers, which was first, which included the 24 interceptions, which was first. And which was first by Byron Murphy at 6. And this was also his best season. He had 76 receptions allowed on him, which is 3rd among corners. And he had 69 tackles, which was 6th among corners also. 49 sacks overall as a squad, which was 4th in the league. I think defensively, again, you didn't lose anything that you just couldn't replace. If anything, you've kind of built back up and revamped, made it a little bit better. But your uncertainty is going to be the offense, which is why, shockingly for you maybe, I have them going 7-10. Before the bye, I would say they go 2-3, lose week 1 to the Bears. They lose week 3 against the Bengals, week 4 against the Steelers. And then after the bye, I have them going 5-7, losing to Philly. That is week 7, losing to the Chargers week 8, losing to the Lions week 9, losing to the Ravens week 10, losing to the Packers in week 12, and I have them lose to the Commanders week 14 and Lions again week 17. So that's 5-7 after the bye. I have them going 7-10 overall to this next season.
All right. So going to last season, we drafted JJ with a 10 overall pick. He missed his rookie season with a torn meniscus. He goes signs Sam Darnold. He was basically on a 1-year prove-it deal. And he goes out and has one of the unexpected, just unexpected great season he had. He threw for 4,219 yards, which was 5th in the league. Average of 254.1, which was 5th in the league. 35 touchdowns, which was 5th in the league. His passer rating was 6th in the league at 102.5. And then his passing completion percentage was 66.2, which was 16th. Everything looked all good. You know, they started the season 5-0. After the bye week, they lost 2 games back to back against, I think it was Detroit, and lost to Detroit and the Rams. And then they're going on a 9-game winning streak right after that. And then they lose their last game of the season against Detroit, and then they lost against the Rams in the playoffs. They lost to 2 teams all year, Detroit and the Rams, which is fucking crazy.
Facts.
2 teams all year went 14-3. Now. It's just like that's not now. Just towards just the end of the, you just see that he's just. Just Sam Darnold just had a fucking. He just had a meltdown. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. that team, they just had a meltdown. I don't know what happened. I mean, you scored 18 points in the last 2 games. 18. The Rams sacked you 9 times, which was a playoff history high. Like, bro, 9 times you got sacked.
It's crazy as hell.
Crazy as hell. Crazy. And then oh no, yeah. And then looking at the defensive side, the defense was elite. Shout out to Brian Flores. They applied pressure 40% of their stats, which I think was like second. Like I think it was the most from last year. They were 4th in the points point game. They were 2nd against the rush. They were 6th of allowing touchdowns per game. They were 5th in sacks, and they was 1st in takeaways with 24 interceptions. With 24 interceptions and 9 fumbles. You can say the defense is going to do their thing. You're going to the offseason. They didn't really lose too much. I mean, just pretty much piggyback what you're saying. You brought in Jonathan Allen. Hopefully he can be healthy and be productive. You signed Javon Hargrave. Hopefully he can be healthy and be productive. And then you look at your secondary. You got Isaiah Rodgers. You got Harrison Smith. You got Byron Smith. So I think defensively, I think they're gonna be fine. I think as long as Brian Flores is there, they're gonna be another top 3, top 5 defense going into next year. And now it's just the question is now it's the offense, and when we go to the offense, it's basically JJ McCarthy. What is JJ McCarthy going to do? What is your expectation of JJ? As I know how JJ is, I see him in his 2 years or 3 years at Michigan, but really 2 years. Started as Michigan. You don't get a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. He takes what the defense gives him. He makes easy throws. I mean, basically just going back to what I'm saying, he takes what the defense gives him. He occasionally may force something, but he's gonna learn from things like that and not do some stupid shit like that. He's very good on throwing the ball on the run. Very athletic. I mean, the guy is 6'2", maybe 205, 210. The guy can throw the ball at pretty much at any arm angle. It's just the fact that with Michigan we didn't have to rely on his arm. We just had to make sure that he didn't turn the ball over, and that's what he did. He didn't throw a lot of interceptions. That man was 27-2 as a starter, some shit like that. I don't know, top of my head. But that's the type of guy you're gonna get. And then he's with Minnesota. You got Kevin O'Connell, who's a fucking QB whisperer. I mean, the guy is a fucking magician, bro. I mean, we see what the hell he did with Kirk Cousins, and now look what he did with Sam Darnold. You can imagine what he can do with a young, I think JJ's what, 20, 23, 24?
Young boy.
22 years old. JJ is 22 years old. And JJ has so much potential, bro. I can see this kind of being like an Aaron Rodgers-esque kind of thing, to where how he sat and he can come in and he could probably be very good. I mean, you have JJ. I mean, you had Justin Jefferson. You had Jordan Addison. You had a really good tight end and T.J. Hockenson. You went and upgraded your offensive line. You went and go sign Ryan. You went and go sign Will Fries. You went and go sign Ryan Kelly. You went and go drafted Donovan Jackson. You have your right tackle and Brian O'Neill. And then you went and go sign Justin Skoll, but we'll see how that happens. And then you look at your run game. You went and go get Jordan Mason, and you got Aaron Jones, who was very productive last year, who had 1,000 yards last season. And I think that if you do this, and if you do this for JJ, I'm thinking JJ versus heaven. This is really, and we're talking about a quarterback from last year that was going to the best situation.
Yeah.
It wasn't Caleb. It wasn't Jaden. It wasn't Drake. And it wasn't Michael Penix. It was J.J. McCarthy.
Facts.
And right behind him was probably Bo Nix. More because of the coach,
Right.
I would say. But it's a tie with Bo and I'll say Jaden. It's a tie, right? But J.J. by far from last year's 2024 draft class as a quarterback came in the best situation. He sat, he watched, he deserved. Training camp is next week. I'm excited to see what it's gonna look like for JJ. I'm definitely like I mentioned, when we're talking about QB tiers, I'm going to be watching some Minnesota games. I want to see how my guy is going to look, and I think he's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I see a lot more things I didn't see at Michigan, because Jim Harbaugh kind of held him back a little bit, which is fine. We capped it off with winning the national championship.
Right.
It's fine. It's okay, and it's all right, because it's a lot of quarterbacks that was kind of held back and didn't really show their full progression and end up becoming good. Like you see Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady was like that. You seen guys like Aaron Rodgers was like that. It's just like you seen some guys like that they didn't know that was all right in college, but they came in the NFL and was really good. And I'm thinking this is going to be what JJ is. You're looking at the schedule. Week 1 at Chicago. Week 2 he faces Atlanta. That quarterback is Michael Penix.
Right.
Played him in the national championship game. That's a Sunday night. That's a Sunday night football. So I'm definitely gonna be locked in on that.
Me too.
Week 3 Cincinnati. Week 4 Pittsburgh. Week 5 Cleveland. They have a bye week. In week 6, week 7, Philly, week 8 at Chargers, week 9 at Detroit, week 10 got the Ravens, week 11 got Chicago, week 12 at Green Bay, week 13 at Seattle, week 14 they got the Commanders, week 15 they at Dallas, week 16 at the Giants, week 17 they got Detroit, and then week 18 they have Green Bay. Last year they went 14-3. We all gonna sit here and say that number's gonna come down a little bit. I think they're gonna be like 8-9, 9-8, 7-10 is probably the lowest, the minimum. I think the defense is still good enough to put them in games. I think now it's just all eyes on JJ on how he can elevate, and can he, when it comes, if it's down to the 2 minutes and he get the ball, can he go down and give them that score? Can he go down and put them in situations to win the game? And I think this is what it's going to come down to. I think he's going to be all right. I think he might throw for 3,500 yards. I think he might throw about 20 to 23 touchdowns. Honestly, truly, I would say from JJ from Justin Jefferson. Do I expect him to have 1,000-yard season this year? I don't know. I honestly, true. I think it might be the first time in his career he may not get 1,000. If he does, it's going to be it's going to be really close. I'm going to be really honest, because like I said, I know J.J. McCarthy, his favorite target is going to be T.J. Hawkinson. Yeah. Because in Michigan, we use a lot of tight ends. We had Colston Loveland. We had, who was before? I forgot who we had before him. And it's just like T.J. Hawkinson is going to be his best friend. And then it might be, if you saying Jordan Addison is going to be missing some games, when he comes back, Jordan Addison is going to be his guy. And JJ is not going to. I believe JJ McCarthy isn't going to sit there and going to force throws to Justin Jefferson just yet. But I'm pretty sure Jefferson's telling that, bro, I'm Randy Moss. I'm always open. Throw it to me. And if JJ McCarthy has that confidence to do that, sky's the fucking limit.
Right.
Sky's the fucking limit. But I do say I am going to say that Hawkinson is more like it's going to be his favorite target. He's going to look for him on third downs, short yard situations. JJ will take a shot if needed, but he's not going to force it.
Right.
And like I said, he like to take the kid of ball. It's like kind of like an Alex Smith kind of guy, but I think he has a little bit more arm talent than Alex Smith. He can use his legs. He's going to use his legs. Like I said, the man can roll left, the man can go roll right. Mm-hmm. He can throw the ball in any way, in any shape. And if JJ's do good, I think this Vikings team is going to be a good team for a long time, and especially as long as Kevin O'Connell is there. I think this team is going to be good, and as long as the offensive line do their thing, if the run game opens up, he's really good in the play action, really good in the play action. So you give him that much space and time. Oh man, we're talking about touchdowns for days, big time plays, big time throws for JJ to anybody who's gonna be open. This for Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, whoever. It's gonna be some stuff, and if that happens, like I said, man, it's a lot of good things gonna happen in Minnesota, and they could be a sleeper,
right?
You know, in a couple of years, but like it's just like I said, this season coming up, I think it's gonna be they're gonna decline a little bit. But if they don't decline, I mean they're gonna decline. I mean, they went 14-3, so I mean it's automatic. I mean it was they have to go 15-2. It's not gonna fucking happen. Now this damn schedule, hell no. But I think they should win at least 7-8 games at least. But if they win double digits, and they win double digits, or even just that's good. Then it's very good. You can only say it's up from there. Anything else before we move on to Green Bay?
With this squad though, I must say, I think this defense, bro, they're gonna be one of the tops again. They're gonna be sitting at the top again, bro. They got a real stacked ass squad, bro. Like I like their defense personally. I think they're adding Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen to that line, dog. You finna see some bullshit going down. Yeah, I'm talking about for the other team, it's finna be some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they stay healthy, yeah.
Yeah, man. I just can't wait to watch. I ain't gonna lie. I may be more of a fan of watching their defense this year, just to see how they shift with these new guys and fit them in there. I don't think it'll be that hard of a deal, to be honest with you. I think it's gonna help them getting tongue tied, succeed a lot quicker and easier. Let's say more efficient time. Let's just say that.
All right. Let's move on to the Green Bay Packers. Let's see. All right, Green Bay Packers. They went 11-6 last year. Started off the season against the Eagles with the loss. Then Jordan Love was hit with injuries. He was out for 2 games. And I think then since then I think things wasn't right for Jordan Love. I think they rushed him back. I think they should have really took their time on him, and he didn't really look. You can tell something was really wrong with him. But then you had good things going on with Josh Jacobs. You know, he had a career high in yards and touchdowns with 1,329 yards and 15 touchdowns. You can say that their receiving group was good, but you still don't have a wide receiver one. You don't know if it's going to be Jaden Reed.
Right.
You don't Romeo Dobbs. You don't know Timmy Wicks, Christian Watson. This is a good. You look at this. This is talented. This is a good wide receiver group.
Yeah.
And then you look at your defense. You look at Xavier McKinney, who had a breakout year with 88 tackles, 11 pass deflections, 8 interceptions, which was second. I think was second in the league. His grade was 6 overall at 84.8. Third in coverage grade was 90, and then then you had Rashawn Gary. Shout out to my Wolverines, man. Shout out to my Wolverines.
You're dope.
Rashawn Gary, who led the team in sacks, was 7.5. You had good production from Quay Walker, who led the team in tackles, 102. Isaiah McDuffie was second in tackles with 97. And you just and then you look at looking at Edron Cooper, a good linebacker, and then also Kenny Clark. We all know about Kenny Clark. The man been doing this for a very, very long time. Shout out to him. Mm-hmm. Now you basically went almost all year without Jair Alexander, and then you lose him in free agency. Yeah, well, I can say you really lose him, but he wasn't really reliable anyways. He goes to the Ravens. You lose Stokes, you lose AJ Dillon, but you add Isaiah Simmons and you add McCall Hartman. Going to this year, it's not necessarily saying it's a make it or break it year for Jordan Love, but it's time for him to enter that top 10 quarterback conversation.
Right.
He has the tools. He has everything to become that. It's just now putting it all together. You're going to your third year as a starter. You have one of the best coaches in Matt LaFleur. You have a really good running back. You have a good receiving group now because now you added on Matthew Golden in the first round. Once he finds that reliable receiver, because we don't know who the fuck it is.
Right.
We may say it's Romeo Dobbs. We may say it's Jaden Reed. Now you add in Matthew Golden, and then now you got a good tight end in Tucker Kraft. So you don't know, and then you got a good guard in Aaron Banks. So it's like, is this the year that Green Bay can turn it up? Is this the year? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sitting here and say, a lot of people are not talking about Green Bay. Fucker, they're sleepers. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're my favorite to win the division. They're my favorite to be the number 1 seed this year. And shall I up it up a little bit? Hot take. Jordan Love may win MVP this year.
Oh, that's super hot. That's burning. Inferno.
If he ain't gonna win MVP, he's gonna be the one of the finalists.
Well, damn.
He's gonna be one of the finalists. And I believe
that's tough.
I believe the way this defense is young and how they was able to turn the ball over, and then now you got the offense, which is young, got a young quarterback. Your running back who's a vet-ish, can kind of turn up a notch. And then you got a young receiver group who's some of these guys are in year 2, year 3, year 4. Oh, Jordan Love, what's good? I think this is the year that he solidified himself as a top 10 quarterback in his league. I think this is the year. And then you look at the schedule. They start the season. They start the season. They have Detroit. They have Washington, at Cleveland, at Dallas. Got a bye week in week 5. Week 6 at Cincinnati. Week 6 they have Cincinnati. Week 7 at Arizona. Week 8 they're at Pittsburgh. Week 9 they have the Panthers. Week 10 Philly. Week 11 at the Giants. Week 12 they got the Vikings. Week 13 at Detroit. Week 14 they got the Bears. Week 15 at Denver. Week 16 at Chicago. Week 17 they got the Ravens. And week 18 they're at the Vikings. I can see them winning at least 12 games.
Damn.
12-5. 12-5, 13-4. I think they're going to win their division this year. But I'm gonna sit there and say they're going to win the division this year, and I think they're going to win. I think they're going to go 12-5 this year for sure. And I think everything's going to go right. I think we'll going to get a healthy Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is not going to throw a lot of interceptions this year. He threw 11 last year. I think that he's going to throw at least about. I think he's going to go maybe 30. I think I say he might go 33 touchdowns and probably like 8 interceptions. I think that's good. I mean, you look at towards the end of the season last year. He ended the season. The last 7 weeks. Let me double check. I think it was the last 7. And I'm not including the playoff game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the last 7 games of the regular season, he did not throw an interception. So I think that he keeps that up, and he playing at a good level. He stays healthy, and he doesn't turn the ball over. I'm telling you, bro. I think it's the year that Green Bay gets back into that conversation of being Super Bowl contenders. And you know that game before the bye week at Dallas, that's the game that I'm going to be all eyes on. And I think that if he does that and he goes in and he goes in there in Dallas, prime time,
right,
and do something, yeah. And I honestly say I think I can see them before the bye week. They can go undefeated. They can go 4-0. They can go 4-0 before the bye week. They can go 4-0. They can go. And if they go 4-0, 3-1. Oh yeah. They in there. They in there. And I believe in Jordan Love. I believe. You was late on the ride, but
you ain't lying. I sure was. I was hating too.
But I believe in Jordan Love, man. I believe in Jordan Love for sure.
It's my fault, Jordan. I still gotta apologize for that, man. I didn't know your game. I damn sure didn't. But yeah. Oof. You gave them boys a lot of respect, I must say. Me, I ain't giving them that much. I ain't gonna lie to you. So with last season, they were very good, I must say. At least statistically wise, they were. They were 5th in the league in rushing yards, rushing attempts. They were 16th, or middle of the pack, in the passing game, more so to speak. But they also didn't receive that many sacks, only taking 22. So the O-line was pretty good.
He threw the ball away a lot.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. He ended up with 3,389 yards, 25 tubs, 11 picks, I must say. That's very good. At least, let me say, for him. Because, of course, I started out dogging the man like a fucking dumbass. So I got to eat my words. I don't have no problem with that. That's really how I would prefer it. A team show me wrong. A player show me wrong, which I'm happy for you. In the rushing game, you brought up Josh Jacobs. That motherfucker right there is a fucking locomotive, bro. that motherfucker is a unit, dog. He's a unit, and I think this upcoming season he's going to have the same type of game, the same efficiency. Shout out Emmanuel Wilson too. You can't go unnoticed, my boy. He also had 103 carries for 502 yards and 4 touchdowns. So over 500 yards. That's really good for a backup. You know, I must say that they was running the fuck out the ball. Receiving wise, they of course they got the balanced attack. Like you said, it's at least 4 guys. Well, 5 including Tucker Kraft. If you want to be technical, you can include Josh Jacobs, make it 6 out the backfield. He can also catch a pass or 2. He'll get up there. With the leader being Jaden Reed, I think he continues. I'm gonna say the whole unit continues their balanced. I don't want to say dominant because it's not really dominant, but it's more so like a balanced attack. You don't really know who, because all guys really are great at route running. They can really get open.
Christian Watson can hit you over the top.
Exactly.
Jaden Reed can hit you in between, outside and out.
Exactly.
Romeo Dobbs can hit you over the top with contested catches. Now Matthew Golden, he's a speedster and can hit you in all levels, and I was at Octavian Wicks too. So it's fucking crazy.
I'm telling you, they got them a nice attack here, bro. And on top of that, you give him enough time to really process everything.
Shit.
This motherfucker might dissect the fuck out of this shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's a doctor out there. He better be a fucking surgeon out there. He's about to fucking dissect these people.
He might do it, bro. But I'm glad you gave him the credit offensively. I'm gonna go defensively. Shout out Quay Walker. My boy ended up with 102 combined tackles, 9 for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 2 pass deflections. He's not the only guy I want to shout out. Of course, your boy Rashawn Gary. He deserves his flower. You pretty much shouted him out, though. Devontae Wyatt, 23 tackles, 9 for loss, and 5 sacks. So, for the most part, I want to say those guys had pretty much of a balanced attack, too. Like, even as far as sacks, you didn't really have one guy that was fully dominant. Everybody pretty much does their part on both sides of the ball, in which they ended up 8th in sacks with 45.
Yeah, 6 turnovers.
Exactly. So everybody.
Or takeaways.
Yeah, everybody does their part, and that's on both sides of the ball. Really, you can't really. I wouldn't ask for much more of that. Just everybody play their role, and that's what pretty much everybody does. Now, my thing is, for this upcoming season, why I can't really give them that respect is because they don't really have that guy, I'm going to say, on offense. So when you play against somebody with that guy, he's going to kind of, I don't want to say overshadow, but he's going to kind of show his skill. Let's just say that he's going to show his skill more on you. So leading to their record, I have predicted for them. I got them 10-7. I'm not gonna lie. Before the bye, I only have them losing to the Lions. That's it. They're gonna beat. I say they beat Washington. They beat Cleveland. They beat Dallas. But after the bye, that's where it gets rocky. I say they beat Cincy, beat Arizona, beat Pittsburgh, beat Carolina. They lose to Philly. They beat the Giants, beat the Vikings the first time they played, lose to Detroit. They beat the Bears first time they played, lose to the Broncos, lose to the Bears second time they played, lose to the Ravens, and then lose to the Vikings. So that second half is going to get rocky, I would say, because that's more so of your heavy hitters along that side of the season, and you got a long stretch too. That's what I factored in too. Yeah, you have an early ass bye week, so I had to factor that in. I have them going 10-7, but nonetheless, it could go better. That's depending upon the other teams and the injury reports and all that blah blah blah. But I would say the balanced attack is not going to take them but so far.
Is that game? They probably didn't. Okay, that game's gonna be prime time. But
Which
Baltimore, because that's Jair. Is Jair's playing?
Yeah, see, they got that as a flex game right now.
Yeah, so that's gonna. Yeah, so I wonder. That's gonna probably be Christmas. Christmas is on what? Thursday this year?
Let's see. Christmas Day. I know I'm ready. You know what? Forget Christmas. I'm ready for Thanksgiving. That's on a Thursday, yeah.
That they might put that game on Christmas. They might put that game on Christmas.
I wouldn't mind it. 5-game difference between the Chicago game.
Yeah, Saturday, because they play Saturday. Yeah, NFL will do some stupid shit like that.
I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be some good ass football, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, maybe not. They could probably wait to Sunday. I'd rather have that game on a Sunday. Matter of fact, actually, this week, let's look at week 17, actually. Because I know for sure. Oh, you can keep on going, but.
Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. I think everybody pretty much is going to play their role again, but that's also going to be what's going to hold them back, in my opinion. Of course, you got Matthew Golden now. He's going to assert himself into the offense. So it's going to be pretty much better. What?
Never mind. Dallas. They got y'all against Dallas, Detroit, Minnesota, and Denver, and Kansas City for Christmas.
Ooh, that last game, though.
And then that last Sunday, game, they got... Sunday, for sure, they got Pittsburgh and Cleveland, Tennessee, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Indy, Tampa, New England, New York, Philly, Buffalo. Oh, yeah, Philly. Oh, never mind.
What?
Chicago and the Niners got the Sunday night game for that week.
Well, damn. Well, it's going to fit in there somewhere.
Yeah, they'll probably... Green Bay, they'll probably play at like 4. Yeah. That game will probably be like 4:30.
Yep, as far as the Packers, that is pretty much everything for me. I mean, the balance attack, I think they're going to be... I ain't gonna lie, I think they're gonna be about the same offensively as last season. I can't really see them making that much of a jump. It's tough to see right now, but I wouldn't put it against them if they did. I think Jordan's just gonna be the same type of guy where he has off games, you know. I think that's gonna play into factor too. Defensively, they always hold it down though, so that's something to look forward to.
All right. Let's get to this Bears. Man, oh man, the freaking Bears. You can kind of say they were one of, how I said some shit about the Raiders, last week. They're one of the most dysfunctional franchises in the NFL, and for some recent years. And bro, like, you really think about it though, they had some teams, the Jay Cutlers and Brandon Marshalls, the Brian Urlachers and Lance Briggs and Greg Grossman when they went to the Super Bowl, and it had a little something with Mitch Trubisky, and you thought that was going to be something with Alshon Jeffries, and they had Khalil Mack. The defense was elite, and then just after that, boy, we don't know what the hell just fucking happened. And then last year they go and draft Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick. He's a game changer. There's a lot of hype. He's going to the best situation because he got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift. They went and got Roma Duze, and they got Cole Kmet, and then you look at it, it's like, all right, Caleb Williams might cook up, they talking about he gonna win the division and gonna go to the Super Bowl, and I'm like, all right, now y'all hop off bros jump, bro.
Right.
Hop off bros jump. All right, now with back from the break, whatever, we had to switch out the battery. With the Chicago Bears, I probably, like I said about the Raiders, I could say the same thing about Chicago. They're probably one of the most dysfunctional teams in NFL history. Over the years they had good squads. I mean, you can go back from the 2000s when they went to the Super Bowl. They had Rex Grossman, they had Devin Hester. They had one of the 2 best linebacker crews with Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher. And then you go into the 2010s when they had Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler, Matt Forte. What's that dude name? Oh my God, the receiver. Johnny Knox, but boy, so that man, hey, you know what I'm talking about to do with concussions. Boy,
bro, his brain is so fried. Many that I don't even remember who he is.
You don't know who Johnny Knox is? Bro,
I do not remember.
Bro, look up Johnny Knox when you get a chance. He was a dog, but boy, that man had so man. Hey, you remember how Wes Wicker was getting hit with no concussions and Tua with the Johnny Knox?
Same thing.
What, bro? He got knocked the fuck out one game.
Damn.
Done.
That's crazy.
Johnny Knox was that guy. I used to fuck with Johnny Knox, bro. When I used to play Madden 10,
yeah.
When I used to play with the Bears, oh yeah, I'm letting it rip with Johnny Knox. I'm letting it rip. That boy Johnny Knox was that guy, boy. I tell you that. Then last year draft, you go draft, Caleb Williams with the first overall pick. It's a lot of hype with him. They saying that he was going in the best situation because he got DJ Moore, he got Keenan Allen, he got DeAndre Swift. He got all these weapons and he's gonna win the division. He's gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm like, all right, bro, y'all hop off, bros. Y'all hop off, man. Just hop off. Then it started off. They started off before the bye week. They were 4-2, and then boy, they go on a 10-game losing streak. They lose against Washington at Washington, Hail Mary. They lose against Arizona. They lose by 20 against Arizona. They lose against damn, we beat them. Damn. Oh shit. All right then. Shit. They lose against New England. They lose against Green Bay. They lose against Minnesota. They lose against at Detroit. That's the game with the clock manager thing on Thanksgiving. Get their ass blown out by the Niners. Then they lose against Minnesota, lose against Detroit, lose against Seattle, and then they get a cheap win against the Green Bay Packers. Now, during that season, Caleb Williams had 3,541 yards with 17th lead, had 62.5 passing percentage, had 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The man got sacked 68 times.
Jesus Christ, boy. That boy out there like, how?
The man got sacked 68 times.
Like, Sam, how?
The most in the league, you would think. Which was the problem was this for the Bears, the lack of consistent play calling. They ended up firing Shane Waldron in the middle of the season, and then right after that, they ended up firing Matt Eberflus in the middle of the season. The first time in franchise history that they fired a coach mid-season. Right. Like I said, after the bye week, they went on a 10-game losing streak. And it's like, damn, And I always say this: if you go into the draft or going to the offseason, knowing that you're gonna get the quarterback, the head coach is not good. It's right. Ass. Fire the coach. If you're gonna draft the quarterback first round, you get a new head coach, bring in a new quarterback. Same system to where you don't have the quarterback doesn't have to sit there and wait till the next year and have to get a new head coach, have to get a new offensive coordinator. Cause now you kind of gonna look like how Trevor Lawrence was. You backtracking. You don't want that. You want to start fresh with everything. But no, you had to fire a head coach, had to fire the offensive coordinator. They had to go get a new head coach. Now had to go get a new offensive coordinator. They go get Ben Johnson from Detroit Lions. They go and then Ben Johnson brings in Declan Doyle as his offensive coordinator, and then your defensive coordinator is Dennis Allen, which was the New Orleans Saints head coach. Now you got somebody. Now you got a really good staff, coaching staff. In the offseason, you can say they did some shit. They had a go off season. You go and you rebuild. Now, like I said, I didn't say reload. They rebuild their offensive line. You go get Jordan Jackson. You go get Joe Tooney. You go and get Dahman. got some protection for Caleb Williams. Now you go in the draft. You kind of cooked in the draft. You go get my boy Colston Loveland. Now you add on to him with Cole Kmet. Now you go get Luther Burden. Add that another offensive weapon in the receiving group because you didn't bring back Keenan Allen.
Right.
You go and draft another tackle in Trapelo. You go get a defensive tackle in Turner, and then you go get a linebacker in Hapolite. If I'm saying his name right. You're making some pieces. Got some things going on. I like what they doing. Kevin McConnell. Ben Johnson likes the two tight end sets. So now I think that with Cole Kmet, with Colston Loveland, gonna be cooking with something. And then you look on your defensive side. You got Montez. I was about to say my damn name. You got Montez Sweat. You got Grady Jarrett. You got Tremaine Edmonds. You got one of the best corners in the game, and Jalen Johnson. You got one of the best safeties in the game, and Kevin Byard. I think that we're looking at a team that's going to progress. I think you're going to see a lot of improvement. I think we're going to see some good shit from the Bears, and especially from Caleb Williams. And you look at the schedule, which is a tough schedule. They got the Vikings week 1 at Detroit. Week 3 they got Dallas. Week 4 at the Raiders. Week 5 is a bye. Week 6 at Washington. Week 7 they got the Saints. Week 8 at Ravens. Week 9 at Cincinnati. Week 10 they got the Giants. Week 11 they got the Vikings. Week 12 Pittsburgh. Week 13 they at Philly. Week 14 at Green Bay. Week 15 they got Cleveland. Week 16 they got Green Bay. Week 17 at the Niners. Week 18 they got the Detroit Lions. They went 5-12 last year. I would say I think with everything going on, I think they're going to go 8-9, maybe 9-8. But I do think they win. I do think with the pieces they have, they're going to be a game maybe a game off at least from 500, or if not, they would go 9-8. I think like I said in this division, it's going to be good. It's going to be tough. I do believe that going to be more positive from Caleb Williams, because now you have Ben Johnson as your offensive coordinator. Right. Well, Ben Johnson as your head coach. My fault. I think that Ben Johnson is going to. I think he's going to be creative as with like he was with Detroit, but I think there's gonna be some things that he's gonna see that Caleb Williams was missing out, and now that you rebuild the offensive line, I think that run the game is gonna be a little bit better. I think you're gonna have something going on with DeAndre Swift. I think you're gonna get a little bit more production from DJ Moore. I think you get. We're gonna see how Roman Duze is gonna be in year 2. And then now you got that dog and Colston Loveland, who's just a mixture of like a Kelsey and a Grump, kind of, sort of. And it's a Michigan guy, so he's going to block. He's going to block.
Right.
I think we got some good things going on from Detroit. From the Bears. So yeah. Yeah,
man. Them Bears was stinking up last season, man, I must say. They was in the bottom half of damn near everything. Offensively and defensively, man. This shit was bad. The only thing that shows that they were pretty much decent at was just they weren't even decent. Teams just really weren't passing on them compared to other teams. I mean, combined, teams only threw against them 503 attempts, which was 3rd in the league. I mean, I think that's mostly because they can get it with their damn feet. They ain't fucking need to throw the ball, to be honest with you. Right, exactly. I mean, just if it don't work, I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I think every team picked up on that, and their plays, like on defense, they didn't have that many because you didn't stay on the field that fucking long. I mean, they had 1,028 plays on defense, which was 6th in the league. You would think that's good. Not in their fucking case. That shit was backwards as hell. Them boys, man, they was going through it last year. This like the bad news Bears, man. It was just terrible. They just couldn't get a fucking break. Caleb, man, they was questioning my guy's talent, man. It was that fucking bad. That and I think that changes this season. With him playing even statistically how he did last year, I gotta give him credit. Cause he really should have played worse than that, to be honest with you. My boy went 351 out of 562 attempts, 62.5 percentage. 3,541 yards. He had 208.3 per game. 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. And yeah, like you said, 68 fucking sacks, bro. That shit is ridiculous.
And the crazy thing is, he only had 6 interceptions.
That's what I'm saying. That's very good.
Only 6. You know, he had the worst offensive line in the league.
Yeah. So this season, I think he's going to do a lot better. I think he's going to turn it up. Shout out DeAndre Swift for them last season. He did very good. He almost cracked 1,000. He had 253 rushing attempts for 959 yards. So he was close to cracking that band. He just need a little bit more. He had 6 tubs. And mind you, Caleb also was running. Mm-hmm. He had 81 attempts, 489 yards. For his damn wife. Almost 500 yards.
Running for his damn wife.
Man, look. This shit was wild. This shit was wild. He didn't have any 1,000-yard receivers, even though he was close. DJ Moore was only 44 yards away from cracking 1,000. He had 98 receptions, 966 yards, 6 tubs. And then Keenan Allen, I mean, he
decent.
Yeah. 70 receptions, 744 yards, 7 tubs. So, shout out to him. And then Doomsday, that's going to be a guy to watch out for this year, too. I think he's going to step up.
Hopefully.
Yeah. He had 54 receptions at 734 yards and 3 touchdowns. I know his numbers are going to go up. I know they are. I can't say that about them. He's the number 2 guy now. He's got more. He's going to get more touches. He's definitely going to get more touches. Unless your boy Colston Loveland or Cole Kmet, they kind of split up the receptions, which it could happen. I wouldn't see it, as too far off of a prediction. But yeah, Kmet, his receiving yards, he only had 474 last season with 4 tutties. I think that's going to go up a slight bit, just a tad. He might crack a 550 or something like that. I think that could happen for them. Record wise for those guys, that shit was abysmal. That shit was bad, dog. You go 5-12, and you win the last game, basically a give me. They ain't gonna fuck about it. I mean, yeah, it was what it was on that, and you went on a bad streak, dog.
And that was the first time they beat Green Bay in since 2018.
Yeah, and they kind of just said fuck it.
They went on like a 10-game losing streak.
They did 10 on the dot, and they were playing Malik Willis and barely won.
No, I'm talking about it was a 10-game losing against Green Bay. Yeah.
Shit, it was a 10-game losing streak in the season too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So damn, I guess it was destined for them to win.
I mean, everybody won, nobody won. Jordan Love came out the game, and yeah, they already. Yeah,
that shit wild. But yeah, those guys. I think this upcoming season, like you said, they're going to improve. Is really no way around this shit. With Ben, he's so creative and crafty. You kinda, even if you don't even notice it as a fan, you're going to see with the stats, and you're going to see more so when the score starts adding the fuck up. This dude is. He's like a offensive maestro, bro. He's just gonna get this shit going. I think they are gonna end up 9-8. That's what like you said, about 9-8. You said between 8, 9, 9 and 8. I have them going that. I have them losing only 1 game in the first 4 weeks though, and that's to Detroit. They beat Minnesota, Dallas, and Vegas. But after that, it gets kind of rocky. Of course, I think they lose to Washington, they lose to the Ravens, they lose to the Bengals, they lose to the Giants, lose to the Steelers, they lose to the Eagles, and then lose to the Packers week 14 in Green Bay. After that, I think they just went out for the last 4 games against Cleveland, Green Bay, San Fran, and then home against Detroit week 18. So leading to 9-8. But yeah, those guys, I think, like I said, Odunze, he's gonna be a big piece for them. DJ Moore, you know what he's gonna do. He's getting 1,000 this year. He's getting his 1,000. That's solidified. You know, as long as everybody stays healthy. Let me say, as far as everybody, I mean, offensive line and Caleb, he's gonna get his 1,000. Odunze, he's gonna get probably close to 1,000. And adding Zacchaeus was a big pickup for him. I think I like that pickup. He's a little nifty motherfucker. You might lose him in all the zones that you got going on, because he knows how to get in the open zone. So I think he's gonna be a good piece. Of course, you got Luther Burden too, to go with Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet. So you got plenty of weapons. You know, adding on DeAndre Swift, Rashawn Johnson. Defensively, y'all good. Y'all good. At least for this season. I ain't gonna say y'all gonna lock everything down, but at least defensive line wise, y'all gonna be a slight bit better. Adding Grady Jarrett and Odin. See, I'm gonna fuck his name out. I'm gonna say Deo from Indianapolis. Right end. Adding those guys, yeah. But yeah, you kind of added some rooks too. Adding Zar Frazier from UTSA. I think that was a good pickup. He's an underrated guy because he comes from a small school. Well, technically small school, D1 school, but I think that was a good pickup for them. And Shamar Turner too, second rounder. We're gonna see how this gonna turn out for them. But I got 9-8. I'm locking it in.
Yeah, it should be a it should be an improved season from him. We'll see how Ben Johnson's going to be as a head coach. He does have somebody like Dennis Allen who was a head coach in this league, and it's going to help him out in any way he can. And it's going to be a lot of eyes on the Bears and see how they're going to be in, and see if Caleb Williams can be. Is they going to be good? You know, if not, then it's going to be another
Bad news Bears.
Literally, yeah. No, for real, yeah. No, for real. Like, I mean, just like when would the Bears would be good again? And NFL is fun when the Bears are actually a good football team. And we're going to see how this goes, and NFC North is going to be probably one of the most watched divisions to watch this upcoming season, and like I said, I will be watching Minnesota a lot more. I probably watch a little bit more of Green Bay, and yeah, I mean, going to be locked in, man. Next week we have the AFC South. So that's going to be brutal. It's going to be fucking brutal. But, go ahead and get that out of the way.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? And
both the Souths.
Oh, yeah, my God, no. I had to spread
trash.
If I could do them back to back, I would, but I can't do our folks like that, man. I had to spread it out.
Boring.
Yeah, because I think after AFC South is the AFC East. I think that's what I did. So we'll see. Anything you have to say before we sign off?
As far as these 4 squads, this is going to be another tight race. Of course, how we got them predicted. You got 13-4 Lions. I got Vikings dropping to 7-10. Packers going 10-7. Bears going 9-8. So I could be wrong. But yeah, so far that's the way it's looking on paper. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's July. A lot of things can change, but just matter of but. I think, I think right now I do like Green Bay win the division. I can see, Detroit, declining a little bit. you know, but not too much. But I think they'll still be able to be contenders.
Yeah.
And it should be 2 teams in this division that make the playoffs.
Minimum.
Yeah. But if you listen this far, please like, subscribe, follow our social media, and everything is in the bio below. If you listen on Apple and Spotify, comment, like, rate the show. And it's gonna be, football is coming, man. Training camp starts training camp actually started today. I think the Chargers reported today. I think the Lions the Chargers reported yesterday. I think the Lions today. Everybody else, I think, is the 20 sometime next week. And we got a first game this month too. Actually on your birthday, so
yes, sir.
Hall of Fame game. I think it's a Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame for a Hall of Famer.
So,
yeah, buddy.
Okay. But yeah. That being said, man, this is the end of episode 150. I'm your boy Trez.
J. Ferg.
And your boys is out.